Hi, and welcome to the Crit Hit Wild podcast, where we cover all things Marvel Crisis Protocol, and we cover a new character every week. This week we're doing M'Baku, and I'm your host, Fred.
I'm Brad.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Steven.
How's it going, everybody? I am feeling very good. I just ate a shepherd's pie, and it was delicious. It was absolutely delicious. How are you doing, Brad?
I'm doing pretty good. I almost forgot that I'm the second person to say something.
I do I always go in order? I guess I do. How are you doing,
No, I mean like
Steven?
when we say our names, Fred.
Oh,
That if
oh,
I don't
okay.
jump in, it's going to be a big pause, and I almost forgot.
You also do traditionally ask Brad how he's doing first.
Part of the reason why is that in Discord it has them I don't know, I think they're in alphabetical order, and Brad's username is the first one in alphabetical order, so I just see that one first when I look up.
Yeah,
How are you doing, Steven?
it's
He's also first in alphabetical order by our
it's
first names.
it's Brad and then Brandon and then Steven, alphabetical order.
Actually, it is. That's correct.
I don't.
uh,
We're still not sure, everybody, why we have Fred in charge. We're taking applications. Just be aware.
yeah, I should not be the person in charge. I'm just a hot mess of a person. Speaking of which, how are you feeling today, Steven?
Oh wow! Now I get to be the hot mess. So no, I'm good. I just got done with a learning game with one of our growing members of our gaming community for Marvel Crisis Protocol. So
It sounds like you've been putting in the work, doing a lot of learning games, trying to expand the community.
yeah, well, this is I think my third one in a row. So, but I gave them the choice. I said they were playing Web Warriors. I was playing, and I said I could play this, this, and this. And they're like, "Well, I don't know about Midnight Suns. Let's play that." I'm like, "Are you sure?" But but
Do you want to double check that?
but I reiterated Jake's the person's name. He ran Web Warriors with Venom, Loki with the Mind Stone, Miles, Gwen, and Peter Parker. Spider-Man, four threat Peter Parker.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but it was a learning experience, and I said the one thing Web Warriors does not do good against are Midnight Suns and Convocation.
Yeah.
Those are the two factions that really screw them up. So, but
You don't get to
no,
reroll your defense dice,
yeah, exactly.
or a lot of them. Yeah.
Right. So no, but he got Loki's train rolling a little bit, doing the "I am a god" and darting out of the way, so on and so forth. But um, I was running Immortal Hulk, Blade, Strange, and Wong. So I mean, just to show him, some things to be aware of and all that good stuff. So, but he was like, "Yeah, I'm really good at this scenario," and he pulled out hammers. I'm like, oh, you poor child.
You sweet summer child.
Everybody's good at hammers, okay? And,
uh,
and yeah, I got Hulk with two hammers, and then he took Venom's hammer, and then he took Miles's hammer, and that's all she wrote.
oh
So,
boy. Oh God. Immortal Hulk with hammers. Oh, you're
yeah,
a terrible human being.
I know. I felt really bad. I did.
uh, all right. How are you doing today, Brandon?
Tired. I'm very tired.
I I'm sorry to hear that. Has it been a long week?
Uh, no, they called me last night at like 11:30, and they were like, "We need you to be at work at like 5:30." So I didn't
Well,
get a lot of sleep.
that's not good.
Yeah, I got off right. It's not been bad, but like as soon as I got home, oh, sorry. As soon as I got home, my body was like, "Yeah, we need a rest, guys." So it like kind of crashed out on me a little bit.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're joining us. That's good that you're joining us, and
Yeah,
we'll try and
my
keep the
schedule.
energy up.
Yeah, my schedule went from like 12 to 9 to uh 5:30 to 4. So
Yuck. I'm sorry.
yeah, that's all right.
All right. Well, I guess let's get on with this episode. Ha- have there been any games played recently?
You just
I
heard
know that.
about mine.
Yeah,
So
yeah. We just heard about Stevens. I have not played any games in a while. It's been rough for me. Uh, what about you, Brad? Did you get any games in yesterday?
I played a game of Shatterpoint with Josh.
How'd that go?
Great.
Did you win?
I did. That's irrelevant.
Shatterpoint is a game that the moment you realize how important force points are is the moment that you start winning.
He
I think.
also spent his force points a little too quickly.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
he realized he was doing that before he ran out of them, though, Fred, not after.
I mean, I'm not surprised. He's a more capable player than I. But it was funny when I had the realization. I was like, "Oh, I have no force points and I need to get Anakin into the fight." I
Yeah,
guess he does
he
nothing.
he made attacks with Anakin, so
He did
already
better than
ahead of the
me.
curve.
Yeah.
Slightly better than Fred.
Yeah. Well, I guess this has just been a busy week for everybody. There's not a whole lot of games. We're all just trying to get through work.
I got a lot of painting done. So
That's good. Who'd you paint? Who's the person who you are most close to finishing?
no, I finished them last night. I finished Thor, Valkyrie, and Angela.
Ooh. Okay. Some Asgardians.
Yep, yep. I'm trying to get caught up on my collection. So
Who's next?
before next is Mysterio, Carnage, and Spider-Man from the Doc Ock and Spider-Man rival set. And then I have it mapped out from there that it's going to be Amazing Spider-Man, Gwen Stacy, Miles Morales, then Sam, Captain America, War Machine, and Hulkbuster.
Oh wow. Okay.
Then I got Cable, Domino, and Deadpool, and then Strucker, Arnim Zola, and Bob, and then Sorcerer Supreme and Cleo. So
That's
Me too. That's the same strategy I'm gonna go with.
if I had the ability to paint like you do, Steven, then I would certainly show it off. I would certainly paint.
Fred,
Well,
I just do not have that ability.
Do you know why he has that ability?
Because he paints?
Because he's painted lots of stuff and practiced.
Yeah.
You could do it too.
Listen, I've
Hey, Fred, don't listen to them. Don't listen to them.
listen,
All right.
listen to Brad. Listen to Brad. But
You
Well,
think
well,
you think my first models look like my models do now? No.
I mean, I've seen your models now. It might be kind of close.
Oh, damn.
I'm just kidding.
my Doctor Voodoo is way better than my Captain America, Steve Rogers. So
Both of my models in that capacity are at the exact same level of good.
okay, great Lord.
Yeah, neither of them have. They both look very, very neutral. They're pretty solid. Except for my voodoo doesn't have the little skulls on his base.
But he's right, Fred. The best thing to do is just to start. And I started out with the measurement tools and the terrain. So
Yeah.
just to get it down.
Well,
Or Fred, hear me out.
let's move on because I'm not going to be painting anytime soon. Uh I'm supposed to announce that on June the 17th there is going to be a tournament at Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston. So if you can, come on down. We're gonna have some fun. I know that Steven will likely be there, as will Brad and I. So we will.
Wow. Wow.
Well,
This is one
Brandon, can I
Brandon's
be
actually
frank?
coming to.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like the
Okay.
June one I'm confirmed for.
Okay. I
I
did not know.
scheduled a flight back a day early from vacation to attend this event.
Oh, wow. Okay, then I'm sorry. I should have. I did not know that.
That's right. You be sorry.
Wow. But Brandon's such a wild card on his attendance.
That's also fair. Um, yeah, that's fair.
Something came up, guys. I can't be there.
Normally it's because I'm not needed. I'm normally an odd number, so I just show up and hang out.
You're
Well,
always needed, Brandon. You're always needed.
I
I'm
am
just-
not. I don't want people who travel to get a bye. That seems really unfun. Or to have to play against Criminal Syndicate, also unfun.
oh, well, it's not like I don't stay for the duration. So,
That's true. I like to make sure I spend time with everyone.
yeah. But hopefully some other people can show up to the tournament.
I just gotta start showing up so Brad stops winning. That doesn't seem.
Yeah. All right. I guess that's it. But we've got a lot to talk about today. We have to talk about a bunch of cards. But before we do that, Steven, do you have a segment for us today?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And it is, again, in honor of our esteemed guest that we're going to be evaluating today, Mr. M'Baku. So, curiously enough, not to spoil anything, but M'Baku has a fairly rare set of attacks. And these attacks both have something on them that you find in the game, but it's not notable. It doesn't happen all the time. And what I'm saying is, his first attack has a displacement. It has a push. And then also, his second attack, which costs power, actually has a throw on it. So, can you guys guess how many characters in the game have at least two attacks that both have displacement on them?
Oh, ooh. Okay. It's
So
not
11.
that many. I
So-
don't think it'll be many.
Fuck
So
that.
somebody
11.
like Rogue doesn't count, obviously, because she has a displacement on one of her attacks, even though she has two.
So what if they have 3 attacks and they have displacement on 2 of them?
That still counts. That is
11. I'm gonna stick with 11.
11 is Brandon's guess.
I'm gonna guess lower. I'm gonna say 8.
8,
It's always
Yeah.
more than I think. 20.
20.
Dude, I was gonna go in Blazing Flames with 27 until he finished it. I knew that wasn't right.
Okay,
So.
so Brad with 20, and Fred, what was your number again, please? 8 and 11. Well, the actual number is 18.
Okay, so closest without going over is Brandon.
No.
No, Brad, I want to. Yeah, I guess closest without going over is
No,
Brandon.
what?
That's-
No one
yeah.
does the stupid without going over rules. I win this one.
This is looking like
Since-
another one for me.
Brandon, I think Brad's in charge of the recording, so maybe we give it to him, to be
Meh,
nice.
no. He doesn't.
Brad
he
is
hasn't
correct. We all love Brad.
He hasn't
I didn't
paid
say
his
that.
employees in a while, so we're not.
So there are 13 characters who actually have a push and a throw. So they have a push on one of their attacks, and they have a throw on their second attack. Care to guess? Besides M'Baku, there are 12 more. So care to take a guess who these people are?
Kingpin is one.
Kingpin is correct.
Is Thor one?
Thor is not.
I'm too tired.
Fred?
I've already hit one. I'm. I, if we're gonna
Juggernaut?
guess all 18, all 12 of these, we're gonna be here for a
Okay.
while.
All right. So let me go over the list, okay? And I'm surprised because, Fred, you run these people. Black Swan is
Uh-huh.
one.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Captain America is another.
I haven't run Captain America in a while.
That's Captain America, Steve Rogers, that is.
Right, right.
Drax,
Ooh, Brad's favorite model.
Ghost Spider,
Oh, okay.
Hulk,
No shocker
Hulk,
there.
Hulk Buster, Red Guardian, Red Skull, the original, Red Skull, Master of Hydra, Ronan, and Thanos. But that only has 13 characters. So there are 5 characters that have a little bit different things going on. 3 of these characters have an advance, and then their second attack has a throw. Care to guess these characters?
An advance. Like the attack causes the enemy to advance?
Yes.
That's normally
Arnim
what an
Zola.
advance is, bro.
Well, it
No,
wouldn't be Arnim.
Not
Arnim
Arnim Zola.
doesn't have a throw.
Oh.
Did we say Ronan?
Actually,
I'm not paying attention.
Ronan was in the push throw. This is advanced throw. So, Brad, you should get one right away because it's a mutant.
Mm-hmm.
But probably
A
not one
recent
that actually gets played.
No,
Oh,
they get
is it
played
Cassandra Nova?
No,
Oh.
they get played a lot.
Jeez, Brad, come on.
Is it Beast?
No.
No, he doesn't have a push.
This is great. This is a Brad doesn't even know his own mutants. This is
Okay,
what we should do. We should just start quizzing Brad on his
Is
inability
it-
to know what mutants do.
No, it's not Magneto.
Is it
Are-
Emma Frost?
yes, it is Emma Frost.
Yeah, because she's got
Oh.
defenestration on her spender.
Brad
She's
sucks.
too new. I don't have.
And then the other 2 are also mystic attackers. Care to take a guess on these? One's a 5 threat, one's a 3 threat.
5-threat mystic attacker.
Mm-hmm.
Maw.
Yes, Ebony Maw.
Jesus.
And who's who's the 3 threat?
Oh God, I don't know. 3s are a lot easier of a list to
I mentioned this in my painting segment.
Clea.
No.
Oh,
Jeez.
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie
No.
is not a mystic attacker, Fred. Come on.
Oh, jeez.
That you just
Oh.
finished her? She Asgardian?
No. They're on my painting table.
Oh, you
I
named
mean,
like
you said a lot of
models.
models on
I know.
the,
That's
in
why,
that sequence.
That's why I said that.
That's not
All right.
fair. A mystic
Is it Clea?
attacker. I already said.
Oh,
Magic? Hold on.
No.
It's not magic. A mystic attacker at 3 threat.
It's a spider foe.
oh, Mysterio.
Yes.
God, I don't even acknowledge Mysterio as like existence half the time.
There's one character in the game who actually has a push and then a second push. Care to guess who this is? As a mutant, Brad?
What? Do you say push and push?
Push and
Yeah.
push.
Is this a good mutant?
No, but he comes in a box with a good mutant.
The Cyclops?
It's not
No.
Cyclops.
Cyclops comes in a box with a good mutant. Gambit
No.
also comes in a box. I'm just thinking of
It's a
Bad
3
mutants.
threat, and they are Brotherhood.
Is it Blob?
It is Blob.
Oh.
He pushes
is a
on
good
both.
move.
yeah. What
are
the
you
fuck?
talking
Blob's
about?
great.
He's good.
The bad 3-point model that comes with a good model is Gambit and Brotherhood. I don't.
All right. And then the last character that we have has a throw and a throw off
Oh,
their
God.
attack.
Who has 2 throws? Is it Hulk? Is it Immortal
Yes, it's Immortal Hulk. I was
Yeah.
going to say, Fred, if you don't get this one.
Hulk?
Yeah, that one was definitely a Hulk.
Yeah.
So, but this makes these characters unique in that they can affect multiple people multiple times with throws or pushes or advances. So, I would implore people to take a second look at these characters, especially some of the not so taken ones, if you're looking for displacements in
To
your
be fair,
list.
the majority of those characters are considered pretty good.
Yeah, pretty high quality list there.
Yeah, there are some that maybe it's
Besides
like, well,
Bot Blob, who's apparently bad now, and I didn't catch that. I didn't get that memo.
I see.
Uh,
So
all right. All
there
right.
we have it.
Let's we have a lot to talk about today. So let us get started on some of the new tactics cards. We got a lot. We know a lot of tactics cards all of a sudden. And we're gonna start with we're gonna do these in alphabetical order there, Brad. We're gonna start with one called Galaxy's Greatest. Uh, it is a Guardians of the Galaxy active tactics card, and up to 4 injured allied Guardians of the Galaxy characters may spend 2 power each to play this card. Characters that spend power gain the Big Dumb Hero token. Characters with a Big Dumb Hero token add 1 die to their attack and defense rolls. That is interesting. I don't. So here's my thought. I like this. I like that it's Big Dumb Heroes. You have to be injured to do it, and is
Guardians
it
get injured
permanent?
very easily, and it is
It's permanent.
permanent.
Okay. So it does not say for until the end of the turn. It's just until the end of the game. But they're injured by this point, so this is going to be a later game card. I mean, I think it's actually pretty good. I think it's
It's
pretty good now that
it's dicey. So
I like.
It's got
Can
cool
you
art.
imagine if Rocket Raccoon has an additional die on all of his hits,
well,
plus all their dice shenanigans that they get? This is the more I think about it, the more I like this. The problem being that this is Guardians of the Galaxy, which has a ton of great tactics cards already. So
well,
it's in competition with like We Are Groot and Diddly Duo and
well, I'm going to
Crew
push
of the
back
Yamato.
on the cost analysis. So let's say you're running typical Guardians and you got 6 at 17, right? Let's just say that, right?
Yep.
Or 5. Okay. So what happens if you have 2 injured? Well, wait, you have to have all 4 injured. Okay. So I mean,
It says up
Well,
to
you
there
can
you
4.
still use this with 2 injured. You,
Yeah.
you just only get it on those 2 characters.
Yeah,
right, but
it's up to.
I'm doing the cost analysis of the fact that do you do that on just 2 characters or do you wait for the third one to get injured? You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah. Yeah, I do. I see what you're saying.
So it's a cost analysis basically.
Yeah, you're right. That's the kind of thing that I would either do way too soon and have it on 2 people and they both die, or I would do it way too late and never use it.
Yes. So this is definitely a timing card like Siege of Darkness.
Yeah,
When do you do that, right?
you're right.
So
Okay. Brad, do you want to take the next one on the list? Oh,
Uh,
actually, we're gonna need to talk about this one a lot.
yeah.
Do you want me to do it?
I mean, I can read it. It's time travel, don't ask. It's unaffiliated, reactive. During the cleanup phase, after VPs have been scored, an allied cosmic ghost rider that is not contesting an objective token may spend 5 power to play this card. Cosmic Ghost Rider may advance medium towards an objective token that you are not securing. If you would now secure the objective token, you immediately score 1 VP. Then, if Cosmic Ghost Rider has a Psychosis token, he may remove it.
So this card doesn't work,
It
right?
works.
Like this. I mean, it is functional. What everything on this is a
How
mess.
does
I think.
Doesn't it work?
Okay,
I'm
all
trying to
right.
get
I
your.
will.
Yeah, I
Let's.
came into when I joined the call. You were also just kind of spinning around in circles
it
about
doesn't.
it, and
It.
I guess I'm
It's
not.
not that it doesn't work, Fred. It doesn't work like everyone will want it to work.
Right. All right. So let's imagine that he has a psychosis token. Uh,
Can I talk about it and then you can go over what the mess that's going on in your head?
yes, go ahead. Go ahead and talk
Okay.
about it.
So like this card just allows you to continue playing Cosmic Ghost Rider regardless of how he has the token or not, right?
No.
So like you just continue. Yes, no, it does. Just let me finish, Brad. It lets you play him like he's not gonna ever contest anything, and then it allows you to spend the power to move on to an objective.
Except
So,
you can't secure it because you have the token.
right.
This
Or
card allows you to secure it.
no,
No,
it
That's
it
what
does
it
not.
does.
doesn't.
That's literally what it says.
It
It's
does not say that. If you
it
would
says
now secure the objective token, you immediately score one
If you
VP.
would now
But
do
he,
it, which he can't do if he has the token. So either
right,
he doesn't have the token and you get the VP, or you do have the token and you remove your token. That's it.
and then you
That's all the
maybe
card
get the
does.
token right back.
Then you probably get the token right back. Yeah.
Like,
Although
and it
spending
costs 5,
spending 5 power does make it less likely.
but you could still spike your roll and
Yeah.
still get the psychosis token. I mean, it is a way to maybe get rid of the psychosis token and put you in the best possible place to possibly not get it on the next power phase. But it definitely does not say that the psychosis token doesn't count during the cleanup phase, does it? It does not say that. So if you have a psychosis token and it moves you to close enough to a point that you could contest it, you don't contest it because you have a psychosis token.
Yeah. And so you don't secure it because you don't contest it.
I think this needs a reword. Like they need to reword this. Or maybe there's something about the psychosis token like during I'm going to I'm gonna read through his psychosis token rules. Brandon, why don't you read the next card in alphabetical order, which is Jabari Chieftain.
Jabari Chieftain, it's a Wakanda affiliated active card. During another allied Wakanda character's activation, M'Baku may spend 4 power to play this card. M'Baku advances towards the active allied character medium. The active allied character adds 2 dice to its attack rolls this activation.
This seems fine. It's a lot of power, but it is all attacks in their activation.
Yeah,
Which
it's expensive.
you can also combo this card with the Wakanda Forever.
yeah.
You
So
could,
you can get
yes.
3 attacks. So you can get 3 attacks, and
Yeah.
Baku
Okay.
would have to spend like 1,000,000 power to continue, but it's 4 power for an out of activation move and gets 2 extra dice potentially on multiple attacks, up to 3 attacks in the affiliation.
Killmonger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is that all of our thoughts on the Jabari Chieftain?
I think so.
Yeah, it could be a good play.
It's okay. It's a pretty good like. It's not bad, but it
Well,
doesn't blow off the table.
like
Uh,
Brandon said, do a Wakanda Forever. Do it on Killmonger. Killmonger then goes into a usurp the throne and game over for whoever's out there.
right.
Right.
Yeah. That actually,
lot of
you're
power.
right. That's probably the best place for this is on Killmonger. Use it during Killmonger's turn.
Mhm.
Reading Cosmic Ghost Rider, it says pretty equivocally, while this character has a psychosis token, it cannot hold, contest, or interact with objective tokens. And it has the psychosis token while that card is doing its thing. So
Well, it doesn't have to, Fred.
right, it doesn't have to.
You
So
could you could play it without the psychosis token and get the extra VP.
yes, but then
But if you play
yeah.
it with the psychosis token, you do not get the VP, but you do remove your psychosis token.
and maybe get it right back. Boy, what a weird card. I mean, one VP is good. That is good effect. It's just, it's such a mess of a card.
I
So
expect this card to get an FAQ.
It will.
essentially, you can just play Ghost Rider how you would play him if he had a Psychosis token. So you just play him how you normally play him.
Right.
Like
Right.
it's like someone was trying to say that but kept getting interrupted. But like we can leave that alone.
All right. Steven, do you want to read Servants of the Titan?
Sure. This is a
Also,
Black
it's
Order.
time travel. Don't ask is a picture of Cosmic Ghost Rider holding baby Thanos, and that needed to be said.
Oh, really?
So,
Oh my
Servants
God,
of the
he
Titan,
is.
which is a Black Order active card. During Cosmic Ghost Rider's activation, any number of allied Black Order characters may spend 1 to play this card. For each power spent to play this card, roll 1 die. For each crit, hit, wild, and blank result in blank and the result, Cosmic Ghost Rider deals 1 damage to an enemy character within 3 of him. For each stall, fail, and shield in the result, Cosmic Ghost Rider suffers 1 damage and gains 1 power.
This seems really good.
How so?
Because it does just, you can just do damage.
Free damage is good.
Yeah.
But
You can just do free damage to people.
how many Black Order characters do you have on the field?
Yeah, that's a good point. It might be like, but even if it's 2, you're very likely to roll a success.
So it looks like the most you can play at one time would be 5.
That's a lot. Holy crap. How is it that many?
At 20 points, you can play Cosmic Ghost Rider, Corvus Glaive without the stone, Proxima Supergiant, and
Okay.
another 4th red, either Black Swan
Let's
or Black
be
Dwarf.
realistic, though. You're not playing Corvus without the stone.
Correct.
I'm just saying, at maximum, you can do that. So 5 is the most you can play.
So
I mean,
cost effectiveness again, Fred. You know how many people are out there. So
I think that
To be
this
fair,
would
even with like 3, you can assign 3 damage.
yeah, this is free damage without
It's
there's
also
no
not
attack
like
involved.
1 damage per character. Like you could just put, if you got 3, you could just put 3 damage on one enemy character.
Yeah. It can, if there are multiple enemies within range 3, can you put 1 on one and 2 on another?
Yep.
Yeah. This is I think this card is really good. I think it's very strong.
It's free damage for a very low entry of cost,
Yeah.
especially in Black Order.
I'm not convinced. Like I said, I don't think you'll have that many people on the field because nobody runs Corvus with his leadership. So
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the next card. Boy, there are a lot of cards that we learned about. This one's called Spirit of Wakanda. This is a Wakanda card. It is active. A Wakanda character may spend 2 power to play this card. The character that played this card may immediately use one of the following effects. All other allied characters within range 2 of this character remove 2 damage from themselves. Or all other allied characters within range 2 of this character may remove all special conditions from themselves. Or all other allied characters within range 2 of this character gain 2 power. Oh boy. I think this card is pretty great.
Let me
I
ask
think
you,
it's-
Fred. If
Yeah.
you only got one of those results on one character, still worth playing?
Wait, what?
Like, you only
talking
heal
about-
one character, or you only remove conditions from one character, or you only put power on one character. Is it?
Probably not. Probably.
Then you
not.
probably
This
should
is
not play
something-
this card.
Okay. Okay.
You are
Because it's range 2, which
realistically,
is pretty.
most of the time, you're only going to get one other character with this, unless you happen to be on something like Gamma.
an E or a C. Yeah.
Yeah. Even a C is more spread out than an E.
Here's a
True.
This will allow you to like the new Wakanda characters are going to allow you to play a majority Wakanda list, and you're going to keep this card in your 10 for specific scenarios. It's not a card you're going to take every single game.
I've got a question. Say you're on at the very beginning of the game and you're going first. Could you take advanced R&D, move one, have the active player spend one to put a power on someone else, and then have that someone else spend 2 power to then put 2 power on everyone around them? Like just
Yes.
deploy super close together
Yes, you could do
and
that.
then just start with a crazy amount of power on everybody, except for the person who uses this card. So you'd like have Okoye, uh, or someone who does not need power. Probably
Shuri.
not Okoye, actually. Honest. Shuri,
Shuri.
yeah, Shuri.
Shuri would
Yeah.
be a good one to play it.
And have them be right in the middle, within range 2 of everyone, and just give this power up everyone 2.
Yeah,
You
'cause
could get
2 on.
4 characters that way.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
don't think you can get more than
The
4.
issue is that you're you're using 2 of your very valuable slots for tactics cards in order to do this thing that gets you some power to start with.
And the scenarios are spread out enough that you may not want to start everyone that close.
Right. Right. So yeah, this is you guys are right that this is a tech thing that's not exactly it looks a lot cooler than it is because of the range twos. It is a very limited range effect. It just seems so useful.
No,
All
but
right.
that would get Killmonger his power enough to charge something, right?
It would.
Yeah.
It would indeed. All right. And the last one is one specifically for Claw. And it is an attack.
Let Steven
During
do
Claw's
this one.
activation, he may spend.
What?
Steven, do this one.
Supersonic annihilation. Annihilator. All right. Uh, Supersonic Shred. Area 5.
Area
Energy.
5.
6 dice. 0 power. After each attack is resolved, if the attack dealt damage, the target character gains the stun special condition. Unaffiliated, active. During Claw's activation, he may spend 5 to play this card. Claw may use this attack shown above once this activation. So we already went over the attack. This is, ooh boy,
Oh boy.
this is something.
This is something, you're correct. This like this is this makes me think that Claw's ability to get out there by himself
Now be
is
careful.
really useful. Yeah, you're gonna hit a lot of your own people. Now, to clarify some of the rules, if your friends are within, if you have allied characters within the Area 5, they suffer 1 damage. Is
Right.
that correct?
Correct.
And
So since an attack was not made,
okay,
they would
that
not suffer the stun special condition.
okay. You saw the next part of my question.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
This can be
That'd be god
this could be
awful.
this could be a game winner, right?
Yeah, this could be either a game winner or do nothing. Like this is one of the this is, Area 5 is going to hit so much of the board.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep, it is. I don't know. If you stood in the center of the board, I mean, you would hit the D's at the like your home D and the opposite D, right? Because that's only 4 away. What about B's? I mean, I think I'm trying to think of what's safe from this if you got to the middle.
I think the biggest problem is that you're gonna put a damage on every character you probably control.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is 6 dice energy, which is probably going to do more damage to a lot more enemies.
I would save it until the other team is mostly injured,
Yeah. Yeah, this
and
could
then
be absolutely devastating.
yeah, and then just go to town. But cost analysis again. It costs 5 power, right? Um, who are you going to daze or KO on your team? It's one of those things you got to kind of think about it. I mean, it looks really, really good on paper. Um,
It
and I
does.
would say, it's pretty good in situations, but there's a reason why area attacks are like the lowest thing in the game, lowest attack type in the game for
This
the
is
ranges.
this is the largest area attack in the game, correct?
Well, there
Prob-
is one other, but you can't do it unless you're in a scenario. So
Oh, like a special scenario one, yeah.
right, the power of
But
the cosmos, where Thanos has all 5 gems or 6
right.
gems.
That was ridiculous. Yeah.
Mm.
But this one, like in a normal game, this is the biggest area attack in the game.
Right. Do you know what the
And by
largest
far.
area? Do you know what the largest area attack was until this one came along?
Was it area what was it? Was it is there an area I don't think there's an area 4. Is there?
No, there's an area 3, and
There's
it's
an
the
area
only one.
3. Okay.
Hmm.
What is it?
Mr. Sinister.
Weird.
For each
Weird.
genetic token that he has, and it cost him 6 on that one. That's the area of effect.
We talk about mutants entirely too much on this podcast.
Not enough.
But all other area attacks are area 2 or area 1.
Okay. Yeah, because an area 5 is so ridiculously huge.
Hmm.
It's most of the battle, most of where combat takes place.
Yeah, yeah. Get caught in the middle, and if you got the right circumstances, it's going to be money. If
Oh,
you have the wrong
yeah.
circumstance, you're going to be a sad panda.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Uh, so those were the tactics cards that we got access to right now that we know about. Uh, how do you guys think they change our estimations of? I think the character that I think Claw. This raises my feelings on Claw. I think this attack is great. I was pretty low on Claw, and this makes me feel like he's more bringable.
your opponent has to be aware of it, right?
I mean, yeah,
I don't
So
think my opinion on any character has changed by this.
yeah,
I think the one thing is I do think the Servants of the Titan gives the Corvus-led Black Order a little bit more play with Cosmic Ghost Rider,
yeah.
but otherwise, I don't think. I think all these cards are fine and they'll have situational homes, but I don't think any of them are outstanding. None of them are really bad though, which is good. These are good cards to add to the mix. Like these are good all playable cards, and none of which are like backbreaking.
Yeah, I think that It's Time Travel Don't Ask needs rewritten. Absolutely needs rewritten. But
I
who
really like
knows?
the Jabari Chieftain to up Killmonger's value.
Yeah, that Killmonger will like this. That and that one mixed with Usurp the Throne could be an easy 2 victory points.
Yeah.
Mm.
Also, we have more Wakandans coming, right? There's another Black Panther and
Yeah.
Killmonger coming, so this could also fit really well. Also, the art on all of these cards is very nice.
Yeah, I did not realize that Baby Thanos was in It's Time Travel Don't Ask. That's great. He's having a great time.
Well, maybe this art will inspire you to paint some of your models.
Yeah, Fred, paint your models.
You too, Brandon.
My models are painted at least. I didn't do
All
them,
right.
but they're
All
painted.
right. So, is there anything else that we need to cover before we go over our guy for today? I don't think that there is.
I guess I should read M'Baku.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you're gonna have a nice time today. All right. So, our guy today is
Oh
M'Baku,
no.
otherwise known as M'Baku. His defenses are 4 physical,
Hold
2
on, Fred,
energy.
stop.
I'm stopping.
I just want to apologize to the people watching the video. I updated the card with the better card today, and I don't know what happened. It didn't take. So
Oh, it is legible.
it
It is still
is,
legible.
but it should be a better version. I don't know what happened.
Okay. Well, it'll be fixed probably by the time that this episode comes out.
Probably.
Probably. We'll see.
All right,
All
go
right.
ahead. Fred.
So M'Baku, he is four physical defense, 2 energy defense, and 4 mystic defense. He has 7 stamina on his front and 6 on his back. He is threat 4. He's size 3, which is interesting. He's big. He is medium move, and Brad, why don't you go over his attack suite?
Okay, his first attack is physical. It's called Nub Carry. I assume. Anyway, range 3, 5 dice, 0 cost. Gains power equal damage dealt. Has pursuit. So before damage is dealt, it may advance towards the character short if you roll wild. Crit push. Before damage is dealt, pushes the target away short. No size restriction. What? How far am I supposed to go?
Do the next one.
Physical attack, Wrath of the Jabari. Range 2, 8 dice, 4 cost. Before damage is dealt, if the target character is size 4 or less, the character may throw it medium. And a wild hit avalanche. After this attack is resolved, the character can advance short. It may then make a knob carry attack, targeting a different enemy character.
All right. And Brandon, why don't you just cover his affiliation bonus?
Blessed by, you know what's really funny? I just want to put this out there. I'm pretty sure that Fred's not reading any of this because he's afraid to butcher some of these names. And like
you have nailed my thinking here.
he keeps 100% about to start, and then he's like, "Nope, not that one.
Right?
That's got a word I can't say." And he's like, "Someone else." So he gives it to the guy who hates reading. Anyway,
It's pronounced Wakanda. Fred.
yeah, I was actually really confused by the word in between by blessed and Grekki.
Bye.
Think it's by, but okay. Blessed by Grekki. I don't know if that's correct either. Don't really care. It's a Wakanda affiliation. Once per turn, when an allied character is contesting an objective token and would be pushed or placed by an enemy effect, you roll a die. If you get a shield, wild, or crit, the character is not pushed or placed. Additionally, once per turn, when an allied character makes an attack, if there are 1 or more wild results in the attack roll, it may change 1 die result to a hit. Do you want me to read the next one, or are you good?
Steven, why don't you finish out the card?
Okay.
There's not a whole lot of actual reading.
Right. We have an active superpower called Strength of the White Gorilla. This is why he's size 3, Fred. He's the white 8 in the comics, I believe. Is that correct, Fred?
Okay.
Yes.
So it will cost you 2 power, and choose an interact or train feature of size 3 or less and within 2, and throw it medium. This superpower can be used once per turn. And then we have an innate superpower called Chieftain of the Jabari. This character cannot be pushed or advanced by the special effects of physical or energy attacks from characters of size 3 or less. He also has another innate called Solid Frame. This character does not suffer damage from collisions with other characters. And his last innate is an immunity, and he is immune to stun.
So that is M'Baku. Who wants to talk about him first?
I do want to clarify that he can be pushed or advanced by enemy superpowers.
Right. It does not specify superpowers. Steven, what are your thoughts here on M'Baku?
Okay. Well, I like that he has a movement trigger, so that gets him around very good on his basic attack. Also, the unrestricted push can't be underlooked, um, overlooked, I should say. Um, the size 4 throw is nice. His follow up, the avalanche, works very well with his affiliation leadership. Um, it's too bad
Yeah.
his throws terrain only, but it's serviceable because he has so much displacement in his attacks. Um, this
And
chieftain of the Jabari, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say he's got a throw that's before damage is dealt on his spender,
Hmm.
which is size 4, thrown medium.
Yeah, pretty
That's,
relevant.
that's real good.
Uh, the chieftain of the Jabari will be overlooked or done incorrectly all the time.
Y-
I can see it now.
yes, you're right. There's so many weasel words in this. Like
Hmm.
there's it's only for physical and energy attacks. It's not superpowers, and it's only for things that are size 3 or less.
Yeah, exactly. It's just too much mumbo jumbo going on.
Yeah, there's
So,
a lot of I guess it would make him so he can't be affected by Shuri.
He's really good in the mirror.
Yeah, yeah, he's good in the mirror.
right. He doesn't suffer from collisions with other characters, which is Kingpin's innate. So that's always good, right?
That's awesome. That is such an amazing ability.
In that immunity to stun is just a little bit of a chef's kiss on this. I mean, so he's always going to build power correctly. So
Yeah.
I I it's a nice kit. I'm not going to say it's good at, or outstanding or bad. His leadership is a little lackluster. I think they took two leaderships and kind of chopped them in half and mashed them together.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what they
Oh,
did.
Well,
yeah.
there's some differences, and they're relevant differences. So, it is the Winter Guards plus Modok 2 Electric Boogaloos, but in this one,
But worse.
it's a little bit better than the Winter Guards, than half of the Winter Guards one, because this one specifies it cannot be pushed or placed, while the Winter Guard says it cannot be pushed.
Okay.
So there's a
Well,
slight difference. I don't think there's a whole lot of. There are abilities that let you place your opponent, but it's not nearly as frequent as pushes. Uh, and then his one that's kind of similar to Modok 2's is only. This one only works on attacks, while
mhm.
Modok 2's works on both attacks and defense.
Right. But I think that's made up because Wakanda has so many. Well, I mean, they do have defensive cards in their tactics card suites, and with Shuri, you can up your defenses by doing rerolls, obviously.
Yeah.
So, but
I I think I think it's very good. I think this is a pretty solid affiliation, if I'm to be honest.
well, I don't.
Is this leadership better than Black Panthers?
I think it's a good complement to Black Panthers. So
Yeah,
you can see across the field what you're going to play against, and that might inform your decision of which leadership that you're going to do.
It's
it's two
it
completely
costs
different
a
game
lot
styles
less.
too.
It costs a lot less power.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah,
I do prefer. That's my biggest thing. I do not like when I have to spend power for my affiliation in
Yeah.
this. It doesn't feel like a bonus at that point.
Right.
I
But
do.
that kind of affiliation can do things. Um, but yeah, I like that his spender attack goes off of his second part of his leadership really really well. So
yeah, and yeah,
and
I think
and that's a Killmonger attack there too, right? Because Killmonger gets that wild on his Pierce, and oh my gosh, he goes to town.
yep,
So
yep. This I think this is a very good affiliation. uh, what are your thoughts, Brandon?
It's all right.
Okay,
No, I actually just I walked away. I'm coming back to
Uh,
it now.
okay. What are
Uh,
your thoughts,
Not
Brad?
walked away. I was looking at a different character.
Okay. Brad, what are your thoughts?
Uh, he seems fine. Like he's
Great.
another character I
I'm
feel like is gonna get played a lot in his faction and like basically never outside of it.
Yeah, I don't think you splash this
Yeah.
character. I'm with Brad. I don't think you splash this character like at all.
I actually agree. I think that he's very good in Wakanda. I think he brings exactly what Wakanda wants in a follow-up leader.
Yeah, I think it's uh yeah, I think he's good. I mean, he's got two good attacks. The additional leadership is going to be worthwhile. He's got a really good throw, only costing 2 power is really really good.
Hmm. Also,
Um,
it's medium. It throw both of his attacks throw medium instead of short, which is a nice benefit.
yeah, like it's like the chieftain of Jabari got like chopped up so he could have solid frame, which I don't know why you just can't have both. Um, but I mean, I think it's fine. I think it's like I think like he's a good character. However, in a matchup against the person who comes in his box, he will lose 1-on-1, and it won't be
Oh,
close.
you're right.
He will get massacred.
Absolutely.
Would get absolutely massacred 1-on-1 versus Claw.
Dude,
Even though there's a point difference, it's a fun little knotted thing that would be good.
yeah, you're correct. Can we also say that he has 13 stamina for a 4 threat, which is the same as like Venom. That's on the high end for stamina amount.
Yeah,
I
the stamina's that was one thing I wanted to talk about too. I really like the stamina. I mean, because you're gonna be playing him with Shuri a lot, so you're gonna have rerolls. Like he's gonna be decently sustainable. I was kind of hoping he had damage reduction. Um, I think that's something they really would have wanted, and Wakanda would have made sense. But I guess the trade-off was solid frame.
Well, if you
Which
if you
are there more than 3 characters that have that
it's
ability?
pretty rare. It's a pretty rare ability.
I
which
know of
one?
3 solid frame. The characters do not suffer damage from collisions with other
Well,
characters.
Kingpin's one. Who's the other one?
Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket Raccoon.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
it's so
only 3
weird
I
that it's
know.
Rocket Raccoon.
yeah, but he's dexterous.
Yeah.
It pisses me off that Rocket doesn't suffer damage because I tell you right now, if I throw if I could throw a Rhino into a raccoon, I'm telling you that raccoon's taking some fucking damage. All right, like he's not gonna be all right after that. And every time I play against Guardians, I want to throw something into. And I think it's just because it like you could throw a garbage can
But
into
that's
and
the whole
probably
thing.
kill him.
Rocket doesn't suffer
Like
collisions. Period. Kingpin
yeah,
and Baku are different in that they don't suffer from characters being thrown into.
yeah,
Right.
that's the only one I. Yeah, because like Rocket would literally just die if he. To be fair though, if Kingpin couldn't suffer like collision damages, period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's just tack that on his card. He's not that good. Fine.
Shut up.
Well, damage reduction. I mean, Wakanda has that card, and if you're running him with Shuri, she can she can she can trigger it. The vibranium shielding.
Would you rather have solid frame or damage reduction?
Oh, that's a good question.
Damage reduction.
I think, yeah, I think damage reduction because it happens every single time.
I'd rather have damage reduction too. Steven?
Would you rather have both?
I would definitely rather have both, and that is why I play what I play.
We can't all
I don't know
agree.
I don't know what the confusion is here. I know what I'm about. I don't. That was the one thing I was very expecting M'Baku to have was the damage reduction. I solid frame checks out. Um, I don't. It
Well,
feels like this card. It feels like to me that this card was very similar to Kingpin, very similar to Kingpin because it. And then like they like scaled it back, like because he is very similar to Kingpin.
He is. You're right. Except he doesn't have an auto stagger.
I'm talking about like the special like superpowers because they each have a 2-power throw of size 3 or less that throws medium. Difference is Kingpin's throws characters,
Right.
and then they both have solid frame.
I think that Kingpin's maybe a little too good.
Hey, whoa. We don't. All right, Fred, we're gonna not have Fred on the podcast anymore. He's out. So instead of damage reduction, you got the Chieftain of the Jabari, I guess is the difference, and I,
That's very
it's an
like
unfortunate
it's
swap.
yeah, it's not a great power.
I
I
guess
mean
you
I mean it
get
is
the
useful in
you get
circumstances. But
the Jabari and the immunity to stun are really the differences.
well,
Because you both have the spender that throws. I mean, they're really similar characters.
well, let's go on to our letter grades here. Here, I think that. Who wants to go first?
Me.
Brad.
Not Fred, apparently.
Well,
Solid.
I'm gonna be higher than everyone. I think. I have the feeling that I'm.
Can
Go
I
ahead, Brad.
can I go? Solid in faction pick. Probably will get played a lot in faction. B plus.
Okay. What about you, Brandon?
I want to know what you're gonna give them.
I was gonna give him a B plus. I thought I was gonna be higher than everyone because everyone seemed like a little bit down. I don't know. Maybe I'm misreading the situation. I'm giving him a B plus
I don't
for
think
exactly the same reason that Brad did.
I don't think any of us were really down on him.
Well, fair. I maybe I'm feeling up on him, which is a nice change of pace compared to how
Yeah,
I've been
you've been a
recently.
sassy little fucking sourpuss
I
lately.
have been.
I've had to bring the high grades, and that's not normal. It's not the way we do things.
So what are you giving him, Brandon?
I'm gonna go with a B minus.
Okay. And what about you, Steven?
I'm a B plus because I think he reignites Killmonger and Shuri.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So we're pretty close together again. It's nice. It's
They've
nice
got a
to be back
really they've
together.
got a really good like at 17 you can play Panther, Killmonger, M'Baku, Shuri, Okoye, which is a really good 5, right?
That is a really good five.
I like that. I am happy, and I know if I feel like I bring it up. I am really happy that you can play. I want every affiliation to be able to play like only affiliated models. Like I just want that to be like a thing that can happen on like a regular basis, and you can actually have different models to choose from. So I'm really happy we
Winter
finally
Guard
got
is
some more.
crying.
Yeah, yeah, Winter Guard's not there. And the worst thing is like those models didn't really go over that well, I don't think, like sales wise. So I'm not sure we're gonna get new
Well, I
ones.
would say one of them did.
Red Crimson Dynamo.
Or Red Guardian.
Yeah, I
that's
think they're both good. I think Red Guardian's actually really solid.
I
but
think the you probably ran into the situation. I feel like I don't know. I only know like 2 people who own those models.
Yeah, you're right.
Like I don't. I feel like they're just not a lot of people own them. Mainly because of that, you had to buy both boxes to get the 2 models that you probably wanted to potentially play in other.
well, they probably saw that and said, "Oh, we got to split these guys up."
Oh yeah, it's the same thing if you look at the original X-Men release, right? Like there's basically one good model and one bad model in like every box.
Inhumans, same thing.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. They're not dumb. They're not dumb. We're on to you.
All right. Well, that's our take on M'Baku. Let us know in the comments if you agree or disagree. And Brad, do you have any comic book recommendations
Yeah.
for this gentleman?
Before I get to those, let me just thank Ravensguard and Jonathan on the YouTube for giving us some suggestions for upcoming episodes. You're on the list now. If you want to be on the list like Ravensguard and Jonathan, then make a comment in the comment section on YouTube and tell us who you'd like to see us do on the podcast.
I also have one little thing I want to throw in there. I think it's really funny how well Claw works with M'Baku.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is Claw going to be Wakanda?
Oh, I think he is.
They
I'm
they
pretty sure
said
he
at
is.
one point that they are going to try not to do any more boxes where the characters don't share at least one affiliation.
Yeah. They've also notoriously put villains in their affiliation when there's not a specific villain affiliation, if that makes sense.
Well,
Like
Yeah.
Hela, like all the Asgardian enemies are also Asgardian. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Claw was
I will point
Wakanda.
to Beta Ray Bill Ulick box, which did not follow that premise.
Yeah, they're kind of both criminal syndicate. Let's be real.
Were they not both
But
Asgard?
no, they weren't.
Hmm.
Ulick is Criminal Syndicate and Cabal.
Cabal, yeah.
Okay.
Which is like the only box that didn't follow that in recent memory.
Don't they? Don't isn't Ulik a bad guy in Beta Ray Bill's story?
No,
He,
Thor's story.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
well,
it's a Thor
yeah,
bad guy. Ulick's just a weird ass character. Like no one really even knew who he was before this came out. So
yeah, accurate.
I barely knew who he was.
And Brad's the most comic books literate,
of all of
aside
us,
from Steven. Steven's very literate in comic books too.
No, I've got specific knowledge. Brad has broad knowledge.
Right.
I did learn of
yeah,
a
I
new
mean,
character the other
outside of
day.
them,
A Marvel character
Torpedo.
I had never heard of. So,
Who's this?
Torpedo.
Torpedo.
Yeah,
Who? Oh, Torpedo.
Torpedo. He
So
he mostly shows up in a comic book they weren't allowed to reprint until they just announced that they got the deal back with Hasbro.
Huh.
So going back, the last by CP number that didn't have two models in the same affiliation was Hood and Doctor Voodoo.
Oh wow, that's pretty far back.
Yeah, outside of obviously what we mentioned previously.
All right. Well, okay. I'm getting us back on track here.
Okay.
Brad, what are our comic book recommendations for M'Baku?
Okay, here's the thing with M'Baku. The version of M'Baku that we got in this model does not exist in the comics. The comics version sucks. He is called the Man Ape.
Oh, okay, that does suck.
Yeah, he wears a white
That
gorilla
sucks.
costume, and he's awful.
He
So,
is not a. He's a very un-2023 character.
yes. In fact,
Yeah.
they killed him off a while ago and introduced a separate M'Baku that's from space.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Okay.
instead of
the
reading
MCU,
Instead of
Sorry, go
reading M'Baku comics, I want you to go watch the Black Panther movies if you like this character, because he's great in that. Don't read the comics.
Absolutely aced the actor for that role.
100%.
The
Absolutely.
only reason to read the comics is if you like the superhero Tigra, because she fights him quite a bit.
That's one we haven't got yet for MCP that I'm kind of surprised.
Ooh, Tigra?
Yeah,
True.
yeah.
She'll be an A Force.
She seems like she's tailor made for MCP. Like it seems like such an MCP model, and we haven't got her yet.
Yeah.
Instead, we just get mutants over and over again.
There are so many mutants, though, Brandon. There are so many.
I know, but I like rubbing you the wrong way.
Well, Brandon, do you have an affiliation that you want to put M'Baku in?
I think you should play Claw in under M'Baku. I would like to make that parent change. I think that is a good place for Claw, is under M'Baku. Um, M'Baku's a weird one because he doesn't really do anything. Like he does displace and he can hit kind of hard. I actually, I mean, I don't know if you guys would agree. I don't. I kind of like him in the Midnight Suns. I like the defense suite and the defensive tech, and I like the all the throws. Um, and I like the. I think the bump would help him. Is he on a medium-sized base?
That
I
is a
don't know the answer to
good
that.
question. I don't know.
I thought he was on a ugh, medium-sized base, but I could be wrong on that. I don't
I'm
remember
gonna
the
look
picture of the
into it.
box.
You keep talking.
He is size
Um,
3.
Yeah, so I mean, if he's on a medium base, that was kind of my initial thought was if you were gonna splash this character, um, he can kind of complement some of the characters that you know always play in the Midnight Suns pretty well, and not cost more than 4 threat, which is good when you have an affiliation that has a really good 5 threat and a really good 6+ threat. You don't really need those characters up top. You're kind of looking in that like 4 to 3, 2, 3, 4 range for your splash characters. Um,
I find
if he
it
can play, if
I find it unlikely that he is on a medium base. Looking at his
it's
picture.
unfortunate. Yeah. I mean, small base still the bump. I think he can benefit from the bump because he doesn't really have anything to spend his power on.
Well,
Like out of affiliation, he's not really spending his power much. So you're using probably Wrath of the Jabari every time like you get to that 4 power and being able to spend the 2 power for the throw multiple times, like every activation's probably going to be useful.
Yeah.
well, it's like when I use Craven in Midnight Suns, he's a small base and he's got a range 3 attack, so that attacks the midline pretty easily
Yeah.
because you go up, you bump, and then you attack with a range 3 attack.
And then you can see I like him in that exact scenario because then you can move up. You're going to be on the middle point, and then if you get the push, you can also take a character off that point. So little those are my that was the first thing I thought of, but I'm not sure this character sees a lot of splash play. This leadership is worth playing, so you can play. It's like where I didn't feel like Claw's leadership was really worth playing. Like you can play in Baku's leadership
Yeah.
rather easily.
Yeah, I think that that's really what he's bringing is a second affiliation for Wakanda, and one that's worth bringing.
It's
Like it,
really
it
awesome
complements well
that
with him.
we have a like 6 model affiliation that has a second leadership, but the defenders and their like 19 models don't have a second leadership. But whatever.
Right. Uh, defenders that have a model that you literally can't take.
Or A Force.
A
That's
Force
another
is
one.
also minorly. A Force is a weird one because we have like it would have to most likely be a duplicate model that comes out that would have a leadership. I think the next A Force leadership we get will be a tactics card.
It'll be Tigra. No.
Probably not. Check that box. Probably not.
Here's a
I
fun. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. I was just
Here's a
going to
fun
reiterate
thought
that
that
I
I
think
had
it's a
about
tactics card.
now that we're talking about defenders. I think that it would be interesting if they had a card that just allowed you to take both versions of Doctor Strange, because that would be something that Doctor Strange would be able to do.
All
No,
right,
you're
we're not
more
listening to
likely to
Fred
get
anymore.
that,
Fred is.
Fred. You're more likely to get that in Web Warriors.
To take all the Peter Parkers.
Yeah, true. All right. Well, let's wrap this up. So as was stated earlier, the actor who played M'Baku, his name is Winston Duke, and he did an outstanding job in the Black Panther movies. He's absolutely dripping with charisma. He does a fantastic job of taking this character and turning him into something very good. He was in another movie recently, and that was one of Jordan Peele's movies, Us. He was the father in Us. It's probably the weakest of Jordan Peele's movies, in my opinion, but it's still a great watch. And I don't know if I've recommended the other two, Get Out and Nope, but all three of them are very good movies. Y'all should watch all three of Jordan Peele's movies.
Nope.
Definitely good movies. I love all three of them. All right. If that's everything that we have to talk about,
I'm just kidding.
someone
I'm
keeps
awesome.
interrupting.
I'm doing it on purpose at this point.
Yeah. All right. All right. We're done. Everyone, we'll talk to you. Play with M'Baku. He's gonna be good. He's gonna be good for Wakanda. This is a good model to add to your Wakanda list. Have fun out there. See ya, guys. This is Fred just dropping in here real quick. Next week we're gonna take a week off for summer vacation. Thanks for sticking with us. We will see you in 2 weeks. Have a good one.